What's up, everybody? It is KidSmoove, and I'm back with another video now. Earlier, I want to say late last night, I did a video for the Tupac movie, the Tupac biopic. All Eyes on Me was my review. I want to give you guys. I watched the movie again. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Tupac, and I really didn't give you guys the depth of why this movie kind of just did not, give Tupac justice. Why it didn't really give you everything, why it wasn't as great as it can be, and why everybody's having problems with it. So I told you some of the things about how the timing was off, how they had Tupac performing Hail Mary. They also, I felt like the movie lacked. We all see Tupac as an icon, right? Tupac's legendary, greatest rapper of all time, or greatest of all time. We put Tupac in a GOAT status, and it's not just because it's raps. It was the contradictions. It was just the overall package, and I feel like the movie never really delivered that. So let's take a deep dive at everything wrong with this new Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me. Now, the problem with it, the name, if you look, the name was a wrong choice for the name of the biopic. They named it after his album, one of his albums, All Eyes on Me, but they never really gave a heavy focus on All Eyes on Me, the album, how it came into fruition, how it was recorded, how long it took, and the details behind it. It kind of was just like, all right, the album's out, it's a double album, it counts as two albums, you know what I mean? It never really went into detail. Tupac had an interesting life, and I felt the directors and producers, well, be L.T. Hunt and Benny Boone, the writers, they didn't really take a deep dive into Tupac's life. Now, if you're a Tupac fan, you know Tupac grew up poor. There are stories, I remember Jada Pinkett telling a story of him owning one pair of pants. He used to wear the same pair of pants to school. That wasn't even that would be highlight. If you want to talk about his upbringing with his mom and stuff, and them having to move all the time, they didn't spend enough time showing you how bad he had it. Having no clothes, having no gifts getting gifts for Christmas, and how the real struggle his mom had. They didn't deep dive. Tupac used to work in a pizza shop, and I felt like they could have easily incorporated that, but when they didn't, the only highlight of any idea of him working anywhere is what Tupac came home and brought his sister a slice of pizza from somewhere. I was like, well, but there was no indication in the movie that he worked at a pizza shop. It would have made sense of him being at work and him closing up and then taking a slice of pizza, a couple slices for him and his sister, and bringing it home and then bringing it to her. Even though that's something so small, but it will at least make it feel authentic. And another problem with the movie is that there was no rise to fame for Tupac. People, it made it seem like, oh, Tupac, you got the deal. There was no struggle of like, man, that they didn't deep dive into the being a roadie for Digital Underground or anything like that. They showed him a part of it on stage dancing, and the next thing you know, he has a deal. Next thing you know, he's working on Tupacalypse and whatnot. I feel like it seemed like it came too easy, and we know that didn't come easy for Pac. It didn't. The thing with the movie is that what people would see, if you watch the movie, it seems like you'll notice things that happened that were highlighted, or things that we actually knew about, that took place in the news in the rightful timely manner. But it was just scene after scene. There was like no bridging. There was like, oh, Tupac shot two cops. Oh, Tupac's being accused of rape. There was no a great bridging of these connecting scenes of how they interacted. They would introduce characters, but they never kind of gave the proper dialogue of how this relationship went. And like I said, I give these guys credit for doing the best they can to make this movie, but I felt like there were other routes they could have gone. And this movie does not tell you why Tupac is the greatest. This movie does not tell you why Tupac is the GOAT. This movie does not tell you why Tupac is important as he is today. One of my biggest problems with the movie is like the lack of stretch. Oops, my TV. It was the lack of stretch, a big stretch. Gaddafi, his cousin, you know what I mean? Gaddafi's mom, their impact on Tupac's on Tupac's life. The ride in a car, Tupac, I'm sorry, they had some of the music playing in the car. It's like, I don't think Tupac was listening to some new Outlaws. He was listening, I think they were listening to Machiavelli and a mixture of Machiavelli album and Nas's It Was Written album. I think that's what the music they were listening to. And they were swiping through those tapes. And the end, like I said, the ending. I feel like the movie did not end properly because it didn't end with any proper like closure. You know, they show him get into a fight. They obviously show the drive by and whatnot, but they just have him die. You know, there's no time in the hospital. This would have been the most important parts because I wanted to know about when we were getting the news reports on Tupac of him after him being shot. They were talking about the survival. Oh, he's expected to survive he's expected to survive. They're talking about he had over 50% chance of survival. I want to know how it was like that with people coming to the hospital to visit him. Danny Boy, MC Hammer, his mom, Jada. I don't think she made it to the hospital, but I know she wanted to do that. Al Sharpton visited him in the hospital. That needed. They could have summarized those 6-7 days in the hospital with narrative. The sad music and whatnot, and people, and him talking about his life or something like that, from prison or something like that, or they could have took that interview that he did with MTV and whatnot, and they could have had that moment where Danny Boy singing to him, tear rolled down his cheek, and I think that was probably like the one that amongst some of those last moments and whatnot. They could have took advantage of that time to properly close out the movie, and they did not do that, and it just ended like the Aaliyah movie. Aaliyah in the VH1 movie, she I think takes the limo off to the airplane, and the movie ends, and it just says, "Oh, Aaliyah dies from a car crash." Da da da. You put this movie in a big screen. It's Tupac. You got the greatest rapper of all time. It deserved a better closing than that. His upbringing deserved a better upbringing than that. They didn't do a good job with the intro, and they did not do a good job with the outro. The stuff in the middle, all right, cool. You couldn't get everything. You got some things to work, but they did a horrible time bridging the gap. We didn't get Stretch. We didn't get Gaddafi. Even though Gaddafi's there, you didn't get Stretch from Naughty by Nature. I didn't like the way they like portrayed his hits, like I Get Around and stuff like that. They just kind of like, all right, we're gonna just do a clip of the music video and have Dimitri just redo these parts and whatnot to highlight those songs. They didn't have the whole with Interscope, delaying not wanting to put out the Thug Life album. They didn't focus on Thug Life. They didn't. It's a lot of stuff that was impactful to Tupac that they did not touch up on, and that was important because we kind of got us to see maybe a one-sided Tupac. Dimitri's great, did the best he could being Tupac, but he couldn't capture Tupac. He looked like him, and I think that's what the thing was. All right, we got somebody that looks just like him. Boom, let's do it. He looks like him, and I commend him for doing the job he did to try to embody. Because at some point I still enjoyed the movie, but because I am a Tupac fan, I noticed just too much, and it was making me disappointed. And I'm like, if I wasn't a big Tupac fan, maybe I would enjoy this movie more than I should have. You know what I mean? Or maybe I would enjoy this movie more and like it. But I couldn't enjoy the movie because there was a lot of things missing, a lot of stuff that we love and know about Tupac that is completely absent from this. And I think Tupac probably will need another movie. Now, maybe John Singleton will get a shot, but I really don't care how John Singleton and Tupac's relationship went about. I was surprised, like I said, they did with the Snoop Dogg story and whatnot, but it's this movie was missing a lot. It was really missing a lot. His upbringing was very important, very, very important, and they missed opportunities. They didn't show Tupac really poor. They showed him move from house to house. They showed an FBI raid, but they did not show you that these guys that him and his sister, they were poor. They didn't show you him just wearing clothes. You know what I mean? They didn't go and really bring you to what got him into rapping. Like I said, him getting shot up and stuff like that. There was so much vital time. Technically, he was still alive for 6 days after that. They could have done something with that. They could have told you the whole story, how it was and how the media and how everybody was reacting, how everybody thought he was going to survive. And they didn't. They just ended. It's like, damn it, this long enough. We got it. Rap. It's like they made the movie. They just couldn't wait to get to the end. And I'm sad to say I'm very disappointed in the movie because, you know, I love Tupac. You know what I mean? I love Tupac. You know, and I wanted to see it because it had a name on it. It had his name on it. It was like, man, we're going to get a lot of Tupac content. And I'm hoping we get it. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to do a right Tupac movie, a great Tupac movie. If you want the real Tupac movie or a good, is close you're going to get to know Tupac, watch Tupac Resurrection. Okay? Watch Tupac Resurrection. That should be enough to get you, right? To get you by. Otherwise, you know, hopefully they can do a Death Row movie to kind of give you that focus on Tupac at Death Row. And hopefully somebody else can do another, you know, movie surrounding Pac and give you the other side, because like I said, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really adding up, and they really didn't give you the figure of Tupac. This movie did not solve or bring to you why we like Tupac so much. The image we got of Tupac was not the Tupac we know and love. We didn't get, oh, this is how he became the GOAT. He did not become the GOAT in this movie at all. We didn't see his work ethic. We did not see Tupac's work ethic in here. We didn't see day and night out of the studio. We didn't get a highlight of him doing Machiavelli in 6 days or whatever, 3 days or something like that. We didn't get the highlight of Machiavelli, All Eyes on Me in 2 weeks. We didn't get the highlights of him in and out of studios and whatnot. We didn't get that. And I don't even think we got a truly impact of Suge Knight's and Pac's relationship. And we didn't get the true Tupac and Jada relationship. Now I know why they did that, because they wanted that. They wanted that story. You know, they wanted that. This is gonna make people like, oh my God, you know. They did a good job with him and his mom. It almost brought a tear to my eye watching his mom go from Black Panther to being on drugs to going into a home to get better and then coming out and he being happy for her. They did that right. They did Tupac's mom. They did a good job with that. The character of JP, they did a good job with that. Everything else, however, was not great. Not good at all. So this is not another review. This is just everything wrong with that damn movie. And like I said, it really sucks because I wanted this to be the killer app, you know, to like, all right, this is the ultimate Tupac experience, and it wasn't. And hopefully they listen to the feedback, and we'll see what happens next. But right now there's a lot of material out on your stores, on YouTube, on your DVDs that you can get about Tupac to kind of get the full picture if you can. But it's KidSmoove, Apples and Oranges, man. Let me know what you think about that Pac movie. And I still urge people to go see it. You know, hopefully somebody from his estates gets paid for it. But I still urge you guys to go see it. I just don't expect it to be the best thing.